Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth. Flipper, welcome. We're headed to the cabin, still dealing with the aftermath of the basement flooding and all that stuff. It's going to be a long process trying to get contractors and all that. But I want to give you an update because people have been asking about the eBay negative feedback. And to be honest with you, so far, eBay has let me down. So we're going to talk about that and a bunch of stuff. So let's go take a look. Look at this, the dogs are back. Like for good, I think, huh? Yeah, you're all safe and sound now. So if you watched the video about the negative feedback, the guy fishing for a partial refund, if you watched that video, this will be the culmination. I called eBay, and I'll tell you what, I'm a little bit disappointed. Not in the initial call. The initial call was awesome. But in the follow-up, sold another one of these. These have been slow sellers, but they do keep selling. And they are vintage, new old stock Steve Austin Stone Cold bandanas. And they're on sale now. They're going out 30% off. They're going out for $18.20 plus shipping. I think I have 20 left. Pretty cool item. If you didn't watch the video, feel free to go back and watch that. Give you a little bit more context, but I'll just sum it up in one sentence here. This guy was fishing for a refund, did not want the total return. He wanted to keep some, whatever. In my opinion, it was his plan all along. I can't prove that. But then he left what I believe to be completely erroneous, false feedback. It was, let's just face it. So I just contacted eBay and told him exactly what happened. I was not pushy in any way whatsoever. I'm going to describe the phone call in just a second. But I'm going to pick some items in between this whole discussion. By the way, sales have been going really pretty darn well. If we're listing, we are selling like crazy. Old stuff and new stuff. And I gotta get this out. I just put it up here. It did not last long. I'm all surprised that hasn't sold. That's been here for a while. I have to check. Maybe I got something wrong with that listing. I can't even get it. Oh well. I'll put it down there. Here's what sold. Planet of the Apes. I don't remember the name of this particular one, but it sold, let's see, with Battle Steed, Fade with Battle Steed. This one sold for 30 bucks plus shipping. Now, I'm not one to call eBay up, and well, that's kind of a thing of the past for some folks here. I usually go on and, well, I'll tell you that in a minute. So I'm not one to go on and dispute every single feedback. If there's an issue, I try to make it right with the buyer. And then I ask them to revise the feedback, and occasionally they do. If they don't, they don't. If I've done something wrong, I eat that feedback. I think I currently have, well, now 3 negative feedback on here. I'm 99.8. We sell a lot, so we can handle some negative feedback. But regardless, I want to try to make it right if I've done something wrong. In this case, I wasn't going to give this guy a partial refund. I thought it was intentional. He wasn't being honest, in my opinion. There was nothing wrong with the listing. Yeah, there's always something you could do differently. But there was nothing that I did that I was in the fault for in a way that I was going to give this guy a partial refund. Especially because it was a crazy good deal for what it was we were selling. But that's beside the fact. So I went on to eBay's system there and I asked in the chat, which is not easy to find, by the way, if they would give me a call back. And they did, and it said it'd be so many minutes or whatever, and they called back within a minute. So I was already excited. I'm like, okay, this is good. Maybe they're doing a little bit more, right? And they didn't give me that answer that I had heard months ago. And I'm hearing from a lot of folks that that answer isn't coming as often. Well, it's just the buyer's experience. There's nothing we can do about it. I think they've heard our voice. I hope. I don't know. I say that, and then I'm disappointed. So I spoke to a lady. Her name was Sandy. She was amazing. She was very nice. Spoke English very well. Okay, this is not, I don't think this is in India or anything. This was somebody who knew what they were doing. And so I was really happy about that. Side note, I know some people now at eBay, but I never use that for these situations like that. I just never do. The only time I ever had a discussion with something in particular was when they shut my store down and it was being reviewed. And that was only for information. They actually never stepped in and did anything for me. And to me, that's kind of bogus, right? If they'll do it for this person, but they won't do it for the normal everyday folks out there trying to get stuff done and make a go of business, you know, then that speaks very poorly of them. So I don't ever do that. This person I didn't say, hey, I have my channel is Commonwealth Flipper and Commonwealth Picker, and I'm on Facebook and YouTube, and I didn't do all that nonsense. I just expressed my grievance here and said, hey, if this is something that can be fixed, please fix it. So this part, I bought this with my wife at a sale, and everything was just really pretty high priced. Look at that, it even has the Goodwill sticker on it. $5.99 from 2015. And everything was pretty high priced at that sale. So I just kept asking, and this guy said, hey, $1 for that? I'm like, sure. And I bought it. And there wasn't much to be had at that sale, but I'll take that $1 into $29.99. I don't even know what it is here, for an RV, I guess. I'm not sure. Plus shipping. So she went through the whole thing, and she seemed to agree with me and said something I didn't write down, and I didn't record it. I'm not putting it on here. I'm not doing whatever. And she basically said, yeah, this is something that will be removed. It will be removed in 48 hours. And I'm like, that was easy. Because look, the guy it was a lie. When you go out there and say, to me, this is what this should be for, right? If people if it's a matter of opinion, it's one thing. But it's all on the record. We had been corresponding for a couple of days, multiple messages. And for him to go on there and say, hey, this person was unwilling to even work with me on this. I'm like, what are you talking about? I offered a total and complete refund, including shipping to and from. No dollars out of your pocket whatsoever. How is that not willing to work with you? And she agreed 100%. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I waited 48 hours and it was still there. I waited another 24 hours, it was still there. Another 24 hours, it was still there. It is still there now. I have not made that phone call back. I'm just a little disappointed that what I was told would be done hasn't been done, but I will make that phone call. I also don't want people to get the wrong impression here. I'm perfectly okay having a few negative feedback. I want to solve the issues. I want to have good customer service. This is pretty cool. It's a Boyd's Bear Eeyore. I remember the sale I bought this at, and it had a bunch of old plush, but a lot of it wasn't really worth picking up. But this one was small. It was Boyd's, which isn't always great, but a Boyd's Eeyore was really cool. And I said, you know what, this will sell at Christmas, and it did. It sold for $17.49 plus shipping, and it went out 30% off at that price. Okay, I take that back. I saw the green writing and I said that, but it was a discount. It was a 5% discount. It was a coupon. So this was a viewer, Shane, and he used code Commonwealth to get 5% off of this one, $17.49 plus shipping. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Shane, thank you. I appreciate that very much. And look, I got my Santa. I've been listening to Christmas music in here when I ship and do those things. I just like Christmas music. Pepper's waiting for me out here. There you go, Pepper. I would normally show myself picking this up in the eBay cave, but it is still an absolute disaster in there, and it will be for some time because of that flooding. This one I picked up with Mel back from Burnout. I believe this is where I picked this one up, down there in South Carolina at FlipCon many moons ago, and it's been sitting and sitting and sitting, which is usually why I don't pick them up. But I was with her, and she said, hey, that's a good price on that, don't you think? I'm like, yeah. And I looked it up, and it was a $100 machine. So I bought it. Thank you, Mel. Sold for $100 plus shipping. It was actually $99.95 plus shipping there. We still have that dumpster out there. We're still unloading stuff, inventorying stuff, and dealing with insurance, and dealing with folks for some new construction, and it's been a pain in the butt. I hope I don't sound like I'm complaining today. I'm not. Things are amazing. I've got my family, and they're healthy, and it's Christmas. I'm just walking through the steps of this so people don't always see the good stuff and all the sales. There's a lot of bad stuff, and the feedback part of it, really, like I said, I don't want to mislead people. Really, the reason I do this is because there's a lot of folks out there who will look at the negative feedback of social media resellers and use it against them. And it gives you a bad name. And I want to make sure that people realize, hey, I'm trying to do the right thing all the time, even if it costs me money. But at the same time, there's people out there struggling and trying to make a living reselling, and they don't need to hear somebody say, oh, I just return the money. I don't care about the, whatever. That's ridiculous. I think we need to stick up for each other and make sure that we do the right thing If I would have just said, yeah, I'll give you $50 back for this thing, like I would have done it to somebody else and somebody else and somebody else and somebody else, and keeps it going. When they take these risks, these chances, and try to resell stuff, if that's what this guy was doing, and I suspect he was, but I don't know that, then that's the kind of person, when they get enough no's, it might deter them from doing it. So that's why I'm going over this. And that's why I'd like the feedback removed. But if it's not removed, it's not removed. We keep going on with business. I'm not going to spend hours doing that and taking away from listing and doing the things that I'm supposed to do. So if I sound like I'm complaining, you're complaining. She wants more treats. Let's change it up. Let's give some away. And everybody likes a giveaway. My go-to tape. MyGoToTape.com. Code Commonwealth, 5% off. Give away a 4-pack of tape. Not this tape. Oh my goodness. I never made an error. I played college baseball. Now, I wasn't a starter very often, but I never made an error in college, and I still seem to be clumsy. I was second baseman. Second base is an easy position. Angel Smith M7E is the winner of the 4-pack. Send me an email, commonwealthpicker@gmail.com, and I will get you the code, get you your free tape. And you know what to put down below. My go-to tape down below, and you'll be entered to win in the next video. Joel's giving us a ton to give away. Thank you to Joel. So go check him out, American Bubble Boy. Use my link in the description, or you can use code Commonwealth if you just go there on your own. You get 5% off the tape and anything that's not bubble wrap. That reminds me, I just remembered, I've got to be on a podcast in just a second. And that is Two Old Guys Podcast. So I'm going to be talking a lot about district over there, which I don't talk a lot here. So if you want to get me, hear me expound on a little bit and understand it better, go over there and you can listen to their podcast and give them a subscribe while you're at it. A lot of the McFarland Toys don't do great, but some of them do okay. And this one is really cool. And it is an older one, I think from like 2000. This one's pretty cool. Gotta love King Kong. And this one sold for $49.95 plus shipping. And look at that. How cool is the back of that too? Love it. This one sold as well. This one, let me tell you, what a cool mix of stuff here. Like new stuff that people need, replacements. This is a Hyla. It's a pretty high-end brand. It took forever to sell, however, and it went off on 30% off for $41.97 plus shipping. Just a nice little mix. I love days like this. So tell me, put yourself in my shoes with, social media and eBay reselling, and tell me, would you fight this thing? Would you spend another, 20 minutes trying to get in contact, trying to get this thing removed? Just let it be. Or would you respond to it and just let it be at that? A lot of people have asked me already, say, would you give me the name of that person so I can block them? And a lot of people told me I was wrong. So, everybody's got a different opinion. But I'm just curious to hear yours down below in the comments. Let me know down there what you would do, what you typically do. Have you had a hard time connecting with eBay lately? Has anybody got negative feedback removed lately? What are your tips, tricks, techniques? Have you got eBay? Have you got the buyer to change feedbacks? That happens with me. I'd say maybe 25% of the time somebody leaves a feedback, I contact them and say, hey, I'd like to fix this for you. I don't say if you remove feedback, I just would like to fix it. And once it's all fixed and they say thank you, then I ask them and they will remove it almost every time. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't fix it for people when the mistake is theirs. I will offer a full refund, however, if they're willing to do that. And people who leave feedback without contacting you first, they're not fishing usually for a partial refund. This is a Jeff Gordon shirt. It's kind of cool. It's only a size medium though. And it is not single stitch or anything like that, but it's still sold, and it sold for $14.95 plus shipping. Pay $1, sell for $15. I'm okay with that. Man, I'm going inside a lot today, which is good. I suppose I got this Bose for free. It has a remote with it, but it didn't have the cord or anything, so it's untested. And I was at this sale, and I asked how much was this. I saw that, how much was this? She said, everything on that side of the sidewalk is free. I'm like, oh my gosh. And she said, on this side, you got to pay for it. I'm like, cool. Because that was on this side of the sidewalk, along with some other stuff. Got well over $100 worth of stuff for absolutely nothing. That sold for $50 plus shipping. The remote sells pretty well by itself. I almost did that, but I figured I'd get a little bit more and just sell it all together. The next couple items and an item a little farther down in the video is going to be the topic of the next video. So I am not going to spoil it by talking about it, but I will just say that these were listed for a long time. Well, not a long time, but they were listed for a while, and I did not list them. And then I looked at them, I'm like, man, I thought these were pretty cool, decent price. Thought they would sell, they had good comps, and the listing had a problem. And I fixed it, and they sold the next day. They're like, I don't know, they're candle, they're MCM, of course. And a wall brass candle holder things, tassels, I don't know. Any rate, they sell for 40 bucks, is that right? No, yes, $39.95 plus shipping for those. I'll take that for sure. And I almost always grab mushrooms, Libby mushrooms. This is a woodcut here. I don't even know. I guess it's painted some kind of, I don't know, but that thing was super cool. There was none listed. So I put it out there for $44.95 plus shipping, and it sold. Hey, Reagan's got to go to gymnastics, so she's doing a thank you early. What do you got?
Julie got a black light.
Black light. Look at how low we're getting, baby. All right, thank you, Reagan.
Bye, and don't forget to get your stickers at CommonwealthPicker.com.
2024, I've done better on purses than I've ever done before because I've been paying attention, learning a little bit. But even at that, they don't always work out. This one I picked up, and it wasn't in the best shape. I didn't pay too much for it, though. And it just didn't sell. Even though it's an awesome model that sells well, the condition wasn't great. So it finally went out. And I'm making money on it, but it did take a long, long time. Little Dooney and Burke. And it sold for $26.20, I think, plus shipping. Somewhere around there. Yeah, $26.60 plus shipping. It went off 30% off. All right, I took a break and filmed an episode of the Two Old Guys Reselling podcast. And thank y'all for having me on. And I'm back at pulling here. This one I did on auction. It's actually in fairly good shape, but I hate to do condition on records. So I just show great pictures and don't even grade the thing and put it on auction. And I'm fortunate because a lot of times viewers buy these. I don't know if this one was or not, but it sold for $16.50 plus shipping. I thought about keeping it for my 80s cave, but I think I already have one, so I sold it. I really don't do auctions on much of anything. I do it on a lot, not all LPs, because I don't know much about it, and sometimes the buyer knows more than me, and it'll go up to the value, roughly the value it should go for with LPs. I do it on gold and silver, a lot of, well, gold especially. Jewelry, I'll put that on auction unless it's a specific type of jewelry with a brand name on it that you can find comps for. I do it on jewelry. And then our charity auctions and our Enaman. Sold a Pepe Le Pew. I love Pepe Le Pew. And this is a bobblehead. And it sold for $21 and... what did it sell for? $21.95. I've got a video about how to ship bobbleheads. Got to make sure you put bubble wrap underneath. I make a little bubble wrap scarf and put it underneath their head so it doesn't bobble, obviously, and chip off the inside of those things. So $21.95 plus shipping. Sold a nice little when in doubt, parted out item. And it should be in here. It's like a weight for a cuckoo clock. Y'all remember these. And this didn't go for much, but I wasn't going to pass up selling it. $10 plus shipping. Dogs under here. Did you trap that cat under there? Y'all be nice to that cat. Yeah, be nice to that cat. Where'd he go? There he is right there. And they usually say not to buy stuff like this, and they are usually right. Some Mickey Mouse glasses, some Disney glasses, but sometimes if you buy, if they're dirt cheap and you buy enough of them or a full set of something, you can do okay. And that's what happened here. These sold for $29.95 plus shipping. I want to announce the winner for a 80stees.com t-shirt. Not this one. It was a Back to the Future one that my buddy Joey was wearing in a Commonwealth picker video. And so I announce it over here as well, just in case that they don't see that one over there. So Elizabeth Scruggs 1622, you are the winner of that t-shirt that Joey was wearing. Little Biff's, I don't remember what it was, but it's Back to the Future shirt. So send me an email, and you can find that in the video description below. All of our links are below. You can also find all of our affiliate links and stuff over on CommonwealthPicker.com. Go to the affiliate section, and 80stees.com is over there as well, and you can use the code. I don't get a kickback for you buying anything over there, but you can get a kickback if you use the code. So anyway, thank you and congratulations. Now normally if you find vintage Chicago Bull stuff that's single stitch and legit anvil made in the USA, you do really well. This one, however, has issues, and it's a Youth XL. So it was not ever going to go for big bucks. Sold on 30% off for $11.16 plus shipping. Man, what an eclectic day of sales this has been, and this adds to it. It is a giant 20-inch wrench. I swear it was in here. I saw it. There it is, right there. And her brand or something like that. And I don't do all the stuff Leroy Blood, Sweat, and Cell does. I just sell it as is. And it didn't sell, 30% off, though. $14.70 plus shipping. And I'm into it, I think, for nothing. I might have paid $1 for it, but I'll take it. Weird one to ship for that price, but can't be too hard. Can't break it, I suppose. I think it's more likely to break something that it's being shipped around than it breaking. I think the next one is a pity buy, but I could be wrong. It just happened to sell not long after I knocked it off the shelf in a video, and so maybe somebody got it, but I don't see it. It may not be a viewer. It's not a repeat buyer. I don't recognize it, but I'm going to say thank you to Karen just in case. This is kind of cool. I picked, it's Gottinger, and it's a little peanut candy dish. I don't know, trinket dish. It's kind of neat, and it sold for $18.95 plus shipping. Our turner's taking over for Reagan, who is at a gymnastics meet today, and so he's going to thank people who bought from CommonwealthPicker.com. As soon as this dog... Do you want out, huh? Do you want a treat? What do you want? All right, who are you thanking?
Michael for buying a number 3 Enema Man.
That's an Enema Man. I wouldn't want to mess with copyrighted trademark stuff. See, it's an Enema Man, but that's an Enema Man. Maybe I should trademark that. I'm not going to. Anyway, thank you, buddy. Do you remember her line?
Don't forget to get your sticker at CommonwealthPicker.com.
All right, so let me know about eBay feedback. Is it worth the time to even dispute it? If the way I think about it is if you continually try to do the right thing all the time, it's just very unlikely you're going to have a ton of negative feedback. If you give good customer service, it's going to happen. It's very difficult to sell as many things as we do and not have some negatives somewhere. So is it really worth the time? To me, it's only worth the time when you feel like your name is really being slandered in the feedback. And that's the way I felt in this. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. You tell me in the comments below. And I can't wait to see you next time.